Talk diesel, and one of the first names to surface is Volkswagen. On this edition of Test Drive, the Jetta and its forgotten fuel. Over the years, roughly half of all Golfs and Jettas sold have employed the engine patented by Rudolf Diesel more than 100 years ago. The reason for and the allure of the compression ignition cycle is not difficult to grasp. Economy. Of course, the best fuel miser in the world is not worth a hill of beans if it lacks a rewarding drive. Puttering around while flogging the living daylights out of an engine just to keep up with stop-and-go traffic is not fun. The one thing Volkswagen does very well is finish off interiors. Now in this Jetta, soft touch materials on the dash, very comfortable leather seating, and in this car, a full glass moonroof. Now this thing opens up the cabin enormously and makes this car feel much bigger than its compact dimensions. It's also very logical for the most part, until you get to this. Here's where you plug your iPod in, here's where you charge it. Now the two outlets need to be put in the same place, preferably in here, where everything remains hidden. The Jetta TDI uses VW's latest diesel engine, a 2-litre turbocharged common rail unit. The beauty is that along with wonderful fuel economy comes plenty of power. It's not so much the 140 horsepower that impresses, rather it's the gobs of torque on tap. 236 pound-feet of torque at just 1750 RPM. Hammer the accelerator and the turbo comes online immediately, as in there is no turbo lag. When pushed, the Jetta picks up its side sills and runs to 100k in 9.4 seconds. Not the quickest time in the segment, but more than adequate, as the torque actually makes the car feel so much faster. The other place this engine really impresses is the fact that when you compare it to the previous engine, it actually reduces particulate and nitrogen oxide emissions by 90%, and so this thing meets all prevailing standards. Of more interest, it actually manages to do that without the need for your rear injection. As for the rest of it, there is absolutely no compromise. Where diesels have earned a reputation for being noisy, this engine is commendably quiet. Once through an early bout of diesel clatter, it's difficult to tell this engine from its gasoline counterpart, which is an enormous compliment. The TDI's power is relayed to the road through either a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed twin-clutch manumatic. The twin-clutch transmission is the keeper. Heresy, some may say, but this transmission does it all in fine style. It rev matches on downshifts, and it's faster than Michael Schumacher on the way up through the gears. Being a wagon, this Jetta comes with generous amounts of space. To begin with, there's enough room for 2 adults to sit without the usual whining, and you still have about 33 cubic feet of cargo space left with the seats upright. Now, if you fold them down, that number jumps to about 67 cubic feet. There's also a couple of nice touches. First of all, a ski pass-through that's built right into the seat back, and this thing, a privacy cover to keep prying eyes off your stuff. The one drawback? There's nowhere to store this when the seats are in the folded position. In terms of its handling, the Jetta is pretty good for a compact family wagon, as the suspenders do a good job of dialing out body roll without upsetting the ride quality. When pushed, the response to driver input is quick and predictable, yet on the highway, all but the largest frost heave slips by unnoticed. Sadly, well, if you want electronic stability control, VW demand $450. Now that's putting overall safety in the back seat. It belongs up front. This new Jetta succeeds on so many levels. However, what really impressed me, if you're looking for long distance comfort, this is the car for you. It rides very nicely and the seats are exceptionally comfortable. But what seals the deal? If you go on a long trip, you'll squeeze the better part of 900 kilometers out of each and every tank full. Now that makes it a fuel miser of the first order.